When we are going for same exercise what we have done last time, we have created workflow function activity. Then we have seen how to access attributes from workflow function. How to access attributes from workflow function? By using two APIs, wfengine.getItemAttribute, wfengine.setItemAttribute. Now we are going for lookup types. How to use lookup types in the workflow function activity. Last time we have used lookup types in the notification. Last time we have used lookup types in the notification. Now we are going to use lookup types in the function. Now we are going to use lookup types in the function. Lookup types means group of lookup codes. Group of lookup codes. Okay, fine. So let me take simple example. First workflow will be started. Then we'll execute the workflow function. What this function is going to do, it's going to take your vendor ID as input. It's going to take vendor ID as input, two attributes, VID and total sites. Total sites, two attributes. And then it returns your function should return either yes or no. Function should return either yes or no. If returns yes, send the notification to operations user. If returns no, send the notification to sysadmin user. When the function should return yes or no, if sites means total sites for that supplier greater than 0, it should return yes. Otherwise, return no. Otherwise, return no. That's a simple logic we are going to follow. Then after that, we are going to close the process. So far whatever functions we have defined, just it will execute some code. But this function should execute the code as well as it should return a value. Your function should return value either yes or no. Okay. So in which scenario it has to return yes? If more than 10 sites are there for that supplier, it has to return yes. Otherwise it has to return no. So that's a condition and it has to return a value. Nothing but a lookup type. We'll use the lookup type. Fine. Let's start the workflow. First we will define attributes. Two attributes we require, vendor ID and vendor sites. Both are number data types. Function underscore lookup. Go to attributes, create two attributes. I'm giving default value as 10. Create one more attribute. We are going to find the sites. Let's go to the function. Function first will create a procedure. WF underscore test. When we are making the procedure as concurrent program, 5 parameters are mandatory. It's an important question also in the interview. They'll ask you what are the 5 parameters we have to define in the procedure. Function mode is run. First we have to access what is the vendor ID. Write a select statement to find total number of sites. Select local variable equal to WF engine dot get item attribute number item type item key attribute name. What is the name of the attribute? VID. VID is the attribute. So we got vendor ID into the local variable. Let's find total number of sites. Select count of vendor site ID into, let's have one local variable L underscore site something from AP supplier sites all where vendor ID equal to LI. Now we have to transfer this information from this variable into workflow attribute. Okay, so which API? WF engine dot set item attribute number, set item attribute, set item attribute number, item type, name of the attribute, site, value of the attribute. Where is your site? Total sites. Fine. Now we have to return a value, right? Write a simple condition. If site value is greater than 10, means if the supplier is having more than 10 sites, what value you want to return? Otherwise, what value you would like to return? WF engine dot, we can simply say whatever value, y and n. Y means yes, n means no. Why I am using single letter y or n is, if we go to workflow, which lookup type we are using? Yes or no, right? So no means internal name is n. Yes means internal name is y. That's why I am going to return either y or n. This is out parameter. Last sessions we have not returned any value. Null value we have returned. But now we want to return the value. So your procedure will be executed. Finally it returns either y or n. Y means yes, n means no. In case if you are using other attributes, for example you are using this lookup, something called master detail, then what you have to return? Detail, or you have to return master. You have to return either master or detail option. Okay, fine. So copy this. Sorry. Okay, variable we are not declared. number data type. Let's keep it.
And the VA.
One more is
VA LID. The way flowing in
VAD. That's a variable.
time.
Okay. Make the procedure as concurrent. Sorry, procedure as workflow function. Go to functions. We can give here function name. Here return result type we have to choose. For previous functions we have not selected this result type. Now we have to select because this function is a result oriented function. Function means internally procedure. Workflow function is internally procedure. It is going to return either yes or no, y or n. That we have to choose here result type. Take the procedure.
batch విష్ణు ఇంకా ఓఎఫ్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ క్లాస్ ఉంది కదా, ఓఎఫ్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ క్లాస్ సాటర్డే రికార్డింగ్ చేసి పెడతాను. సాటర్డే రికార్డింగ్ చేసి పెడతాను. ఒక క్లాస్ ఉంది కదా మీకు, 4 to 5 రావాల్సిన అవసరం ఏం లేదు. జస్ట్ మీ క్లాస్కి ప్రిపేర్ అవుతుంది, ప్రిపేర్ చేసుకోండి. ఇది కార్పొరేట్ బ్యాచ్ క్లాస్ 4 ఇదంతా ప్రిపేర్ అవుతాను. 4 to 5 వేస్తే క్లాస్ అయితే లేదు. ఓఎఫ్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ క్లాస్ సార్ రికార్డింగ్ చేసినా పెడతారు, లేకుంటే సాటర్డే అయినా ఉండొచ్చు. 5 to 6 కొత్త బ్యాచ్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. ఎవరైనా చూడండి ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఎవరైనా.
Create message. Vendor ID. Yeah, sites, right? Attribute name is sites. Now we'll go for attach the message to the notification. Same notification 2 times. I'm going to draw in process window. Start the workflow. Create function. Now if you try to design the function process, it is going to show the result, because while creating this function we have mentioned our procedure name and also we said it is a result type. Result type yes or no. Okay. So then we'll go for yes. and then we'll go for no. And send this notification to the user called operations. Send this notification to the user called sysadmin. Same lookup type last time we have used. Same lookup type last time we have used. But last time we have used in the notification. Now we are using in the function. In the notification, we used to click yes or no button. We have to click manually either yes or no. Now there is no question of manual selection. This function will return either yes or no, because we have already written the logic inside of the function. Depends on our requirement what it has to return. Now save the workflow. We got error message. Could not find the token sites and vendor ID in the message attributes. We are displaying the attributes in the message, but we have not dragged attributes into the message. Okay, let's save this. Go to database. Now execute the workflow from sysadmin. So go to workflow administrator, web applications, developer studio, name of the workflow, internal name, select one, item key, user key, submit. Go to status monitors and find the status of the workflow. It's completed successfully. Go to status diagram button. The workflow has started. This function has returned either yes or no. Right now it has returned no value. It means your supplier is having less than 10 sites. So earlier this option manually we used to select and it was waiting for the response. Now its decision has taken by the system based on the logic. Now return value is no. Notification has delivered to sysadmin. You can check in the notifications tab. We are in the login of sysadmin now. This supplier is having 5 sites. Now again we'll run with a different value. Now go to developer studio, search your workflow, run. This time I'm going to give the one vendor ID as 1, submit. Go to notification, go to status monitor, search for the workflow status. This workflow we have executed 2 times. Now this is what our current process. Go to status diagram. Workflow is executed, it has returned 2. It means you got more than 10. And this notification has delivered to the user called operations. Let's log in with operations and verify. we can choose workflow notifications. How many sites we have? 33 sites. That's all. So this is how we can use the lookup types in the workflow function. So we have to return either yes or. So we'll go for one more example. Simple workflow will take it. Employee approval workflow will do it. We'll design today and we'll do it tomorrow. First create employee table. Employee number, employee name. Creating another table, employee number and employee name. Manage. Next, one more table, employee leaves table. Employee number, leaves available. So first table is employee table having employee number, employee name and who is the manager for that employee. Second table is employee leaves. For every employee there will be a leaves allocated. And what is the link between these two tables? Employee number. Employee number is the link, primary foreign key link between two tables. Okay. So first workflow will be started. Then we'll define the attributes. Employee number, leaves applied, how many leaves he has applied, leaves available, leaves applied, leaves available, and employee name, who is the manager. 5 attributes we are going to have. We are going to have 5 attributes. So once the workflow is started, your workflow function should find leaves are available for the current employee or not. So we are passing employee number and you will say that I want 4 days leave or something. So first what we have to do, we have to verify for this employee leaves are available or not. Leaves are available or not. If leaves are not available, if we say leaves are not available, so you have to write a logic and find whether leaves are available or not and return. You have to return whether leaves are available or not. If the leaves are not available, then we want to send a notification to the same employee. We want to send a notification to the employee saying that leaves are not available. Notification to employee, no leaves are available. And then workflow should be closed. Workflow should be closed. In case if leaves are available, the leaves are available, then we have to send the notification to the manager for approvals. If the leaves are available, then we have to send the notification to the manager for approval. Notification to whom you are going to send? Manager. So what are the information we are going to mention? Employee name, who has applied for leave. Total leaves are available and leaves applied. This information we have to send as a notification to the manager. Then manager will take the decision whether you want to approve or reject. So again here, two options. If manager says no, if manager is going to say, I'm not going to sanction the leaves. If manager reject, Then we want to send a notification to the employee. We want to send a notification to the employee saying that your leave application has been rejected. Your leave application has been rejected, and close the work. So and so manager has rejected your leave application. So and so manager has rejected your leave application. In case if the manager approved and rejected and we don't want to do anything, let's close the workflow. Let's close the workflow. In case a manager has approved the leave. The manager approved the leave, then what we want to do? So we can design here itself. If manager approve the leave, then we want to go for update the database. The database has to be updated. Means you have to write a workflow function. Update database. Then we want to send the notification to employee. We have to send the notification to employee. Saying that manager has approved your leave application. Here we have to mention total approved leaves, total available for usage, total available for usage. Update the database and send notification to the user, and then finally close. Of course, once we approve it here itself, we can go for update, not a problem. So I'm just creating separate workflow function. So as soon as manager has goes approved, then we can go for write the code here itself. Instead of that, separate function here. So these are attributes required to work with this. So this you can just go through. It takes at least 1 hour time. We'll do it tomorrow. And today we'll see now how to execute workflow from backend. Simple API is there. So far, how we are executing the workflow, we are going to log in with the sysadmin user and do it from the front end manual. Let's develop one simple workflow. Workflow name I am going to mention backend. You would like to have multiple process, you can design. Right now one process is there. I am creating the message first. I am creating two processes. When we go through wizard, what happened by default, you will get start and activity, end activity. But when you design manually, you don't find. You have to get it. Go to standard, functions, where is start? Here. Where is end? Here. Go to start property, node tab, and you have to change one property here, start. Next. Go to end activity, properties, node tab, and say like this. Manually we have to get into our process window. Go to second, double click, where is start? Here, and where is the end? Here it is. Go to start properties, node tab, start, and where is the end? Now we'll go for design the second process first. Then we'll call the second process from first. So I'm going to just mention one message, second message, create one notification, attach. Internal name duplicate is there. Already we have given the name second for the process name, so we can't go for it. Let's drag it here and start the workflow. Let's send the notification to the user operations. Close. Simple process we have designed. Let's go for designing the first process. Go to first one. Here we don't want to do anything, just we want to call the second process. So just drag this. Workflow will be started. It will execute the second process and close. This is calling one process from another process. Now inside of our workflow, we have two processes, first and second. Now if I execute the first one, it will automatically call the second process. Now if you double click this activity also, it will open that window. It will open this window. Now second process I have designed, this I am going to call from the first process. Like this, we can call one process from another process. Just like calling one procedure from another procedure, we are going to do this. Next, save the workflow. I'll just show you front end where you find the difference when we try to run the workflow. What is the workflow name? Backend. Go to Workflow Administrator, Web Applications, and Developer Studio. Name of the workflow. Click OK button. When we try to run the workflow, here is the option. Earlier there was only one process, so it was not showing the LOV, it was just showing your process name. Now you have to choose your first. When I select first process, what happened? It will automatically call the second process. Go to status monitor, search for the workflow, go to status diagram. Now you can see workflow has started. When I select this process name second, here two buttons are there, zoom in and zoom out. Click zoom in button, it will show you this. Zoom out means it comes back to the main process. Or double click also it will work. If it is a process, you have to do the double click, then it will be executed. So that is how to call one process from another process. Fine. So this is the workflow we have developed. Now we want to call this workflow from the SQL prompt. We want to execute from SQL prompt. Begin. There is a API. WF engine dot launch process. WF engine dot launch process. What is your item type name? Nothing but your workflow name. Internal name we have to use. What is your item key? Item key we can pass. We can pass any unique number. What is the process name? Workflow process name. What is the name of two processes we have, right? First and second. And the user key. What is the user key? And who is the owner? Same information will provide in the front end also. Front end also, if I want to run the workflow, then what we'll do generally? We'll provide the workflow name, then item key and user key and process name. And owner name you don't need to pass because already owner logged in. Owner is sysadmin who is going to run this workflow. Sysadmin. So that name you don't need to provide. So now who is the owner? Sysadmin. User key any number, item key any number, and already workflow name we have given. Which process? Right now how many processes are there? Two processes. First and second. I want to run the first one. Go to properties, select the internal name. Select the internal name. If you run the first one, automatically it will call the second one. That's it. This is the code required. So compile from SQL prompt. You can change some message, easy for identification purpose. Executed from SQL prompt, like this. Save. So that when we see the notification, we can understand. Now executed from SQL prompt. Okay, so let's check the result. We have sent the notification to operations user. So operations user is going to log in. And they will go to workflow. notifications. Here. This is last time we done. Now this is just now we done. You will see the message executed from SQL prompt. So your workflow is executed from the backend. So this is how to execute the workflow from the backend. Any workflow, same syntax will do it. Name of the workflow, item key. Next time if you run, you should not pass 123 again, because it will show you duplicate values. You have to pass some other. Then name of the process and this. When we have multiple process, for example, this second process, user should not run directly. The second process must always call from the first process. It should not run directly. Then there is one checkbox here. This you have to uncheck. Now this second process you cannot run directly. It must be called from some other process. It cannot be executed directly from the workflow. So now if I try to run this workflow, if I try to run the same workflow, last time it was showing two process names. Now it is not going to show it. We are not safe. We cannot select second because we said second process cannot be run directly. It must be called from the another process. This is one of the important question in the interviews. What is runnable checkbox? If the checkbox is unchecked, we cannot run this process directly. We must call this process some other process. We have to call this process from some other process. Okay. Fine. So today we discussed the three concepts: how to execute workflow from backend, how to call one process from another process, and how to return the values from the workflow function. This we'll do tomorrow. We'll create employees and managers and we'll send the notification. So tomorrow entire class it will take it. Fine. Now you can make this script as a concurrent program. Make this script as concurrent program and execute from SRS window. How will you make it? Create a replace procedure W SRS. What are the two parameters? Error book and register this as concurrent program and submit from SRS window. If you don't want a hard coding value, use some database sequence. So there won't be any problem. Same value you can pass as user key also. So that if you execute number of times also, no problem. There won't be any exception. There are two more APIs, WF engine dot create process and WF engine dot start process. WF engine dot create process, and so this will be used to create the process. Nothing but a int slice. nothing but a int slice, and this will be used to execute the process. So we have the option, either you want to directly launch the program, directly execute it. No creation, directly execute the program, we can do it. WF engine.launch. If the workflow is complex, the process is very complex, first we need to create that. Create means it will be initialized. All your activities will come under the buffer. Then it will start execution. So these two APIs are used, or this API also is fine. So when we will go for second method is, whenever we say the workflow is complex, first we need to create the workflow, then we have to go for execution of the workflow. The second method we don't prefer, let's leave it, create process, start process, but important. They'll ask you in the interview, what is the difference between launch process and these two? And what are the parameters for launch process? Item type, item key, process name, user key and owner. These are. So tomorrow we'll go for employee approval development. And people who are not comfortable with OAF, let's attend morning 7:30 to 8:30 batch, and P2P cycle evening 6 to 7. Evening 6 to 7 is a P2P and O2C cycle. So tomorrow I will take the interview 1 hour and 1 hour class.